Alright, so today what we're going to do is we're going to continue working on shooting the fireball. And up to this point, we've created in your spaceship, we've created an event that says a 1 second power up that says when it collides with the fireball power up, it changes the Boolean attribute to true. And then after a second, 1.2 seconds, it changes it back to false. So before we continue on with this to make it actually fire, because it doesn't fire right now, we need to add the power up. Right now it's just right here. We need to add a spawner to spawn the power up and shoot it and make it spawn downwards randomly so that we can't predict when it's going to come down. So let's click on the plus sign and let's do fireball spawner. Okay, and we're going to just drag this right like so, and now what we're going to do is actually let's just put it right here for now just so that we can see it and how it spawns. And what we're going to do is we want this to spawn every so often. So what we're going to do is let's go to, let me see what it is that we're going to create a new attribute for the random timer. So we're going to go to attributes. We are going to go to plus, and let's do an integer. Choose, and let's just do spawn, say fireball spawn timer. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to make it very similar to the bad guy bullet timer. So let's go back to actors and let's go to fireball spawner, double click on that, and we want to make sure that it doesn't move. So let's just go to physics and just check unmovable and fix rotation so it doesn't move. And let's create a rule, and we want the rule to be an attribute. And let's say click on this, and we're going to say the game attribute. So actually let's actually do a timer first. Let's do this. Let's do a timer. I think this would be a little bit easier. Scroll down to timer, and let's just do every 1 second. We're going to change an attribute, and we're going to change the attribute, the fireball spawn timer. We're going to change that and just make it random. So click right here, and you can make that random, and let's do between 1 and 10. And remember, you can adjust this accordingly as you see fit. And now every 1 second it's going to pick a number between 1 and 10. Great. And then we're going to create a rule and the attribute, and it's going to be a numeric. Actually, let's do a numeric expression, and we're going to say when the game fireball spawner, so remember every second it's picking a number between 1 and 10. When that hits a number, let's just choose 3. It doesn't really matter what number because it's a 1 in 10 chance. So when that equals 3, when that hits 3, we want to spawn the actor. So we're going to go and click spawn actor. And which actor do we want? We want the fireball power up. Okay. And now let's go ahead and go back, and let's just do, let's be organized. Spawn fireball power up. Okay. Now let's go ahead and go back, and we need to make sure that the fireball power up, we need to make sure that it moves. We haven't added any movement yet, so let's go and add some movement to it. Move. and we want it to go, the direction is 270 because we want it going straight down. And the speed is 300. We can kind of play around with that, but let's leave that at actually, let's make that a little bit faster. Let's say 400. And now let's kind of see how that works. So now it's spawning. You can see it randomly spawns at different times, but the box is way too big, right? That box is too big. So let's go to the size and make that. Let's make that 8 by 8, and let's see how that looks. Let's see how that spawns for the. Dun, dun, dun. All right, let's play and just to see how. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see it. It's a little small. Maybe let's just do 15 by 15. Yeah. So now it's spawning randomly, and we're going to go back to this scene, and we are going to move this up a little bit. And we also want to make it so that the spawner gets killed when it hits this bottom bar. So let's go back because we want to kill the actor once it hits the bottom bar. So Powerball, create a rule, and let's say when this collides with the bottom bar, right? We want to destroy it. So let's go down to destroy. Right, and then just rename that destroy, okay, because we don't want that thing trailing on forever, okay? So now we have, if you take a look, we have this right here, and it spawns from time to time. We're losing lives. And now let's continue to work on the power-ups and shooting the fireballs. So now we're going to go back, and we have our spawner, and let's go to the spaceship. And if you take a look at the spaceship, we did a 1 second power up, meaning when we collide with the fireball power up, we're going to change the attribute that we created from fireball power up to true, meaning it's true, and then after 1.2 seconds it's going to be false. So let's create a rule, and let's just put shoot fireball. And what we're going to say is when the attribute is, let's go to game and fireball power up. So when the attribute is true, actually no, we're going to say, yeah. So what we're going to say is the actor receives the event first. We need to add it that it's a space bar. So let's do key and let's do space bar. So when we're going to make sure that all these conditions are true. So when we hit the space bar, right now the bullet shoots. But if we click right here and go to add, and we want to add a numeric expression and the attribute. So what we're saying is when all these are valid, we're going to spawn the fireball. So the attribute needs to be fireball power up. So when that is true, right? When that is true, we want it to spawn the fireball. So let's go to spawn. Okay, and we want the fireball. And now let's see how that works out. And remember, we're saying when we hit the space and when the attribute is true, the fireball power-up is true, then it's going to spawn the fireball. Remember, we start the game with this attribute being false, and the only way to turn it to true is to get the power-up by colliding with the power-up. So if we click right here, hopefully a power-up will spawn, and let's see. There you go, and now you can shoot fireballs for 1.2 2 seconds, and that's going a little bit longer, so we need to double check. So now it's shooting both the bullets and the fireball, so we need to work on that. But at least it's firing fireballs. Now we're going to get around, and in the next video we're going to make it so that it only shoots fireballs, not the bullets at the same time, and also add spawning fireballs that go in every direct, or to the right and to the left.